Elsie May here of the amazing Cherry Bomb production, part of Team Sunspace. Woo! Well, here we are, once again, for another awesome, amazing, badass, femme-empowered Cherry Bomb show. Most of you probably know the drill, because you're so awesome and you stick around and you come back for these shows. But hey, if you brought a new friend, let me give you a lowdown. So, tonight we have a jam-packed night of amazing female comics, female artists, and this is a free show. You don't have to buy a ticket. You just type the little bloop bloop in your URL, bloop bloop, and then you're here. So that means that the best way that you can help out all the artists that you see tonight is by tipping them. So during the show, there'll be a little information ticker on the bottom of the screen, and that will have their social media accounts so you can follow them, and it will also have a Venmo or a PayPal, something of that like, that you can send these artists a tip, and we really greatly appreciate it. The last option, you can always tip directly and donate to Sunspace tonight, and then we will distribute that to these amazing artists that we have here tonight. So just thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting this amazing, crazy, wacky show that we do. And I'm just gonna pass this off now to my partner in crime, my mistress of comedy, the wonderful, the amazing Becca Ward.
Woo!
Yay! Welcome everybody to Cherry Bomb! Oh, we are small, but we are mighty, mighty, mighty Lady Comics. Oh, so very happy to have you here this evening. I am actually going to close us out. I'm really excited to welcome our first comic to the stage. Zoom stage. She's super duper funny, and her hair reminds me of Alias, and that's super badass. Give it up for Kate Hester.
Hey. Hey, thank you so much, Becca. Thank you for having me. Come at you guys live from my couch in Jersey City, New Jersey, where I have been trapped for 10 weeks now. It's not quarantine related. I decided to take quarantine to like the deeper level, like a quarantine inception, and completely blow out my knee. So I've been trapped on the couch. I was like, I'm so tired of being able to leave the house. I want to make it like, I don't even want to leave the couch, So here, I'll show you guys, I'll take you on a little tour. Here we go, look at my scars there, right? There we go. I bet you thought today, I hope in one of my Zoom comedy shows, I get to see some meaty surgery scars. Well, I aim to please, you're welcome. It's kind of in the face, it's kind of in the shape of a cat that's had a stroke. That's all I can see. Yeah, what happened was when Joe Biden won the election, I went to do this victory twirl, and I completely destroyed my knee doing so. It was like a twirl gone horribly wrong. Ended up totally diving into my cat's litter box, falling into my cat's litter box. So that was a thing. Just goes to show that Irish people cannot have a good time without somebody ending up in the hospital, So yeah, needed a new knee, but since it didn't hurt as bad as when I got my IUD put in, I was like, I'm just gonna ice it. It's fine. It's fine. I got up out of the cat's litter box. I brushed myself off. I chugged a bunch of tequila, and I went to my show that I had that night. So 6 weeks later, I was like, this isn't better. It's not getting better. So I went to the doctor, and he was like, well, since you waited so long to come see me, you genius, your body has gone ahead and absorbed your knee parts. You have eaten yourself from the inside out, which is a thing that happens. I didn't know. I was like, no, that is some invasion of the body snatchers type shit, So he was like, well, don't worry. We're going to give you a brand new knee using cadaver parts. Yeah. And I was like, I don't want that. I was like, I don't want that. And he goes, well, I'm the type of doctor who uses fresh, never frozen cadavers, he says.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And I was like, what is this, Wendy's? Are you Wendy's? Can I get a Biggie fries and a Frosty with my fresh, never frozen human cadaver parts, please? Can I look at headshots of these people? I don't want any uggos, Is there a lobster tank of dead athletes where I could pick out my favorite one? You know, like, give me the blonde guy. It looks like he used to run marathons, you know? So yeah, I've been trapped at my house. I've been doing a ton of Zoom shows because of this. You know, I was doing a lot of rooftop and outdoor stuff, but it's been Zoom since the knee blowout. But I'm back on stage now, thank God.
Woo!
Yeah, so we got Zoom bombed a couple of days ago. This guy, if you don't know what a Zoom bomber is when some loser with nothing else to do hacks into your Zoom show and starts flashing his dick. We got the Nazi. And he lucked out because it was a very diverse show. So he starts screaming racial shit at all of the comics. And then he gets to me and he goes, "Oh, I guess I'd fuck the chick in the glasses." And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. You know? So he's my boyfriend now. We're going out. He had a busy day at the Capitol a few weeks ago. I was like, honey, don't forget your hand sanitizer. You're gonna need it for when you're done smearing your own poop on the walls. Anyway, I'm having sex with the human resources guy at my job. Woo! Yes. It's a good gig if you can get it. If you can get the guy who gives lectures on sexual harassment to squeeze your ass in the break room, get away with whatever you want. Eat every day. I'm the one that's eating everybody's yogurts from the fridge. It's like, keep leaving those Post-it notes, all right? Actually, none of that's true. Well, it's true that I'm banging the HR guy, but he's been my boyfriend of 11 years. I don't get away with shits. I never got away with anything. He's actually more of a dick to me than he is to everybody else, you know? And now because of the virus, he's been furloughed. So he's no longer the HR guy. Now he's just the janitor of our house. So when the virus first started, he ran to the liquor store and bought all this sherry and port and cognac for whatever reason. So I've been quarantined with Frasier this entire time. He's a musician. I always end up with musicians. My ex-husband was a musician. All the idiots that came in between were musicians. I've ingested so much musician semen in my adult lifetime that I know how to play Wonderwall on the guitar. Now, one lesson. It just came to me. I'm the only person at my job that keeps testing negative for COVID over and over again. Knock on wood. All my coworkers have gotten it. I haven't. I think this means one thing, that they're not inviting me to their orgies or something. Like, maybe it's the human resources guy connection. Who knows? But they've been checking our temperatures with those gun style thermometers that they point at your head. And I was shocked when I found that out, because the security guard at my job's been checking mine rectally this whole time. So I had to have an awkward conversation. You know, couldn't even complain to human resources because he's home on the couch drinking cognac. I had this boss from a job a couple jobs ago who was from a vastly different culture. So he would always say this really inappropriate stuff to me, just because there's no political correctness over there. So one day he comes out with, "Hey, Kate, do you know why your boyfriend doesn't want to marry you?" And I was like, oh, this is going to be good. So I was like, okay, Mohammed, why doesn't my boyfriend want to marry me? And he goes, because he knows you've been divorced. He knows you've been with another man. And I'm like, Mohammed here thinks that I have had sex with 2 guys my entire life. You know, I was like, dude, I had a turnstile put in on this thing, okay? Like, the Metro card, and you could just swipe on through. You know, ask me about the rideshare program. If my boyfriend doesn't want to marry me, it's because of the watch the gap signs and the rats. And the guys in hard hats and flashlights looking around. So I had sex with this guy once. He was so boring in bed. He just laid there. Like, he didn't move. He didn't make any sounds. I was like, come on, guy, work with me here. Do something. It was like having sex with a CPR dummy. Turns out it was a CPR dummy, and I'm not allowed back in that community center anymore. So I had this friend who is a militant feminist, and that's great. We need them. You know, she's one of these girls that spells women differently. She spells it WOMYN, to take the men out of women, you know?
Mm.
And that's great, you know, soldier on, girl. But she's on Twitter the other day and she's tweeting, I'm locked in the bathroom because there's a mouse in the kitchen and I'm not leaving the bathroom till my husband gets home to kill the mouse. And I was like, girl, you've got to go back to spelling women the regular way. Like, I don't think you're allowed to spell women differently if you're waiting for a man to save you from a mouse. You know, I don't think it works that way. Back when my hair was a regular color brown, I was told that I look like a young Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I'm a little conflicted about this compliment. You know, it's like, yes, she was the greatest woman of our lifetime. But no, nobody thinks about her when they're jerking off, you know? I mean, I guess some super liberal guys out there, but is that really what you want? Anyway, speaking of feminism, why are there no lady burglars in the ADT home burglary commercials? Like what? Like feminism's not there yet? Like I can't break into your house and fuck shit up? I can't take your TV? I mean, I might need help getting it out the window, but I can smash your family portrait. They always take the extra 2 seconds to show the smashed family portrait, you know, because burglars are that detail oriented, you know. My house was actually broken into a couple summers ago, like 2 summers ago. It's a totally true story. I was in bed, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I hear the window in the next room open up where the fire escape is. And I was like, well, that's weird. Either my stray cats are suddenly much stronger, or someone's coming into the house. So I get up, I run into the next room, I flip the light on, and there is a white guy, a black guy, and a Latino guy climbing into my art studio. And I was like, holy shit, check out the diversity on you guys. You know, it's like so nice to see in Trump's America, 3 young men from different backgrounds coming together to accomplish something, you know? I was like, where the hell did you guys meet? The United Nations of Home Invasion? What are you, besties from burglary college? Luckily, they ran right out the window upon seeing me in my underwear. They were like, holy shit, it's Ruth Bader Ginsburg in her underwear. Let's get the hell out of here. Okay, guys, that's been my time. Thank you so much.
King Hester. Oh, I feel you. Like Christmas at my house, that's a token saying from my mother is it's not Christmas till somebody cries. Probably a lot of alcohol involved. Oh, that was so great. Thank you so much, Kate, for being here and just sharing your friggin' hilarity with us.
All right, you guys, you ready for some music for the night? So we're gonna kick this off with our first act. Now, this is their second time returning to Cherry Bomb. That's right, folks. We've been around long enough to have repeat performers coming back with the awesomeness. But any hoozles, the amazing, wonderful Fira, Mistress of the Night, we have performing next. So please give a round of applause for the wonderful, the delectably delicious, the vampire Fira. Woo!
Travel the stars.
excited for this next comic. New to me, new to you, but unless she brought friends, which yeah, friends, I'm a little jealous. Rock and roll. Give it up for the very funny Emily Page.
Oh, thank you so much, Becca. I am happy to be representing New Jersey and the East Coast with Miss Kate Hester. So I know some women who have gotten engaged, made all the wedding plans, and then at the last minute broke it off. And like, I like to think people wouldn't be so thoughtless, about other people. It takes a lot of planning to make a wedding happen. I would never do that. Not the type of person to break off an engagement, right? I'm way more thoughtful than that. I just broke up the marriage. So I am divorced, and honestly, I think it's very important that everyone gets divorced at least once, because your first marriage is a lot like your first job, like you don't really know what you're doing and you don't really care. You just kind of show up and half-ass it and hope you can use it as like a resume builder. When I first told my friends I was getting engaged, they were like, oh, what did you do with your ring? Did you trade it in for cash? And I was like, it's not all about money, people. I traded it in for cash, freedom, and happiness. I really think if we would have had a king size bed, though, we'd still be married. The bed was so small, we just felt like we could never get away from each other. Right? Yeah, the breakup was definitely because our bed was too small. And like he also had a girlfriend, but
Oh.
no. No. I know I sound cynical. I'm not against getting married again someday, though. I just think next time I'd be a lot more realistic about it. Like, even my wedding vows would be more realistic. They'd be like, I take you, in all honesty, to be my second choice for convenience and for lack of trying, for richer or at least a 401k, in sickness unless you throw up, or in health unless you have a 7-figure insurance policy, as long as we both shall live, or until I get bored.
Woo!
Right? I know. So my daughter started stealing money out of my wallet. She's 2, and she's stealing money from my wallet. She is so advanced. I mean, I didn't start stealing from my parents till I was 14, so she has 12 years on me. Honestly, I'm so proud. The only problem is now when I go food shopping, I have to ask her for money. And I'm not saying she's a psychopath, but she does laugh every time we watch The Lion King and Mufasa dies. So there's that. I never really understood why parents were always complaining that they were so tired all the time. But since I've had my daughter, I have spent many nights wondering how much Tylenol is enough to make her sleep, but not kill her. Sometimes I do feel like a bad mom, though. Like when I went back to work after having my daughter, everybody was coming up to me and they were like, oh my gosh, you must miss her so much. And I was like, who? Another question I get all the time is, do you want to have more kids? And I'm always like, more kids? I don't even know if I want this one. I don't know. I sold my house at the beginning of quarantine and I moved back in with my parents. So it was double the lockdown for me. And I started dating, which during a pandemic, dating just translates to drinking boxed wine in my parents' basement while FaceTiming guys I met on Tinder. Yes. And, it's been interesting as a single mom. Like I was talking to this one guy and he's like, I understand I'll never be number one in your life because that's your daughter. And I just want you to know that I'm okay with being number 2. And I was like, well, my daughter's like 5th. So I think that makes you like 9th at best. You know, I just feel like guys get the wrong idea about me because I'm a single mom. Like, they think I want more children, but I just want more sleep. Or they think I'm looking for a baby daddy and I just want a babysitter.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I have recently started seeing somebody, and I was talking to my therapist about him the other day. And by the end of my session, she turns to me and she's like, Emily, if you don't start dating him, I'm going to. And so now they're really happy together. You know, she took my money, my man, and all my hope for the future. So looking for a new therapist if anyone knows anybody. My dad is always really critical of who I bring home. Like one time I brought home an entrepreneur, and my dad was like, please, Emily, an entrepreneur, like he's unemployed. So then I was dating a musician, and my dad was like, yeah, musician, okay. He teaches guitar, Emily, guitar. So now I'm dating a comedian, and my dad is just like, what happened to the entrepreneur? My boyfriend and I, we've been together about 6 months now, and we haven't had our first real fight yet. So I kind of wanted to get it out of the way, so that like when it happened, it just didn't become like a huge blow up, right? So the other night I turned to him and I was like, I hate the way you load the dishwasher. And he just turned right to me and he was like, I hate the way you won't leave my apartment. Before, you know, earlier on in the pandemic, I had a friend that was trying to set me up with somebody, and she's like, I met this great guy. I think he'll be perfect for you. He's just a lot younger than you. And I was like, a lot younger than me? Like, I'm not that old. So like, how old is this guy? Like, does he have a curfew? Can he go out on school nights? Like, do I need to ask his mom for permission? Does he have his license, or does he need me to pick him up? And like, most importantly, how much is this babysitting job gonna pay? Right? Guys, my name's Emily Page. Thank you so much. Becca, back to you.
Yay! Dude, keep it going for Emily Page. You remind me of my mom. I was just really raised outside. I think that's the way to do it, is lock your kid outside for like 10 hours at a time, and then they either go away or learn how to take care of themselves. One or the other. Both cases are winning. Oh man, rock and roll. Hey, welcome. That was awesome. Thank you for being here, Emily. And next comic we have coming to the stage, I've been trying to get on this show because I just think she is so very funny. And also, in case you find something in your pockets, we are accepting tips to Sunland Sunspace, or you can donate to the comics there, to the artists there, or you can donate to their own Venmo, PayPal, whatever. Well, you've seen it. It's flashed up on the screen. So yeah, that would be super rad. Nothing more than the tip, please. Rock and roll. Yeah, let's keep this party rocking.
All right, back with more music. So this next act that we have, I'm super excited to bring them to our digital stage for the first time. Please give a wonderful, warm cherry bomb welcome to the super talented Leokness.
You think I'm hurt, broken? Well, look who's talking. admit when I'm wrong. Cause I'm a fucking mess. Isn't it obvious? I thought everyone knew, but clearly second guess. Take apart my heart, you can keep the rest. I wish I could be the girl that you need to impress, but instead, I'm a fucking mess. Fucking mess. Yeah. I'm a fucking mess. I'm a fucking mess. Yeah. It's like you think I'll make your dreams turn into reality. Oh, 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 don't understand why you ask me for advice. Can't you see that I'm losing my own mind? I'm just a girl doing whatever she wants, but I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. I'm just a girl doing whatever she wants, but I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. Cause I'm a fucking mess. Isn't it obvious? I thought everyone knew, but clearly second guess. Take up by my heart, you can keep the rest. I wish I could be the girl that you need to impress, but instead, I'm a fucking mess. Fucking mess. Yeah. I'm a fucking mess. I'm a fucking mess. Yeah. You know that I want to, but I really can't help you. You know that I want to, baby. You know that I want to, but I really can't help you. You know that I want to, baby. Oh, yeah, yeah. You know that I want to, but I really can't help you. You know that I want to. You know that I want you, but I'm a motherfucking mess. What do you expect? Apart from perfect, being a fucking mess. Yeah, that's what I do best. I wish I could be the girl that you need to impress, but instead, I'm a fucking mess. Fucking mess. Yeah. I'm a fucking mess. I'm a fucking mess. Yeah.
And welcome our next very funny comic to the stage, Dana Keel.
Woo! I'm Dana Keel. She said that. All right, you guys. Just excited to be here. So much. Like a couple of things. Kate talked about her friend who spelled woman with a Y. I've been seeing people spell it with an X. I'm just thinking, we don't have to change the vowel to be woke, right? Do we have to take the vowel out? Just saying. I think we got bigger problems than a vowel. Just saying. You guys, let me say this. Something happened to me today. I just wanted to tell this quick story. So, be a friend to your friends. If you see something, say something. Like, have you ever seen, like, if a person has food, like, right here, and they don't know it, and they're just walking around, or, like, the classic toilet tissue stuck to the shoe, or whatever. So here's my adventure. Today, I had to walk to go work with a group of kids. On my walk, it was hot in LA. If you're in LA, it's like an 80+ degree day today. So me and this melanin wanted a little bit of a support system. So we put on more sunscreen, and I put it on while walking. No mirror, didn't even use like the cell phone, because I just figured, okay, we'll put it on, whatever, and we'll kind of rub it in. And then all of a sudden, like, I get to my lesson, I do my lesson, I do everything I need to do. I come home from the lesson. Now, mind you, I stopped at Ralph's and got watermelon and sushi. I dealt with the parents of the kids. I dealt with the kids. The husband of the home actually drove me home because I was, so I wouldn't have to walk home in the heat. I step in the mirror and there's white, like splotches all over my face. And I'm just like, so nobody's my friend, not even the kids. Nobody could just say, hey, listen, chocolate melanin lady, you got white, and here's the thing. It wasn't Casper white, but it was noticeable. Just saying. So you guys, my advice today, PSA, be a friend to your friends. If you see something, right? If you see something, say something, right? Thinking about going vegan, plant-based cheese. Like, anybody fooling with it? Y'all checking it out? Like, okay. So, Becca, my concern with plant-based cheese is this. When you look at the ingredients, there's not a plant in there. There's not a geranium, right? A bird of paradise, like not even a power plant, like no plant in the plant-based cheese. Just nothing. I'm just saying, you know, we have come to just over 1 year in quarantine. If we could call it anything, we could call it the anti-anniversary. We want to commemorate, but not celebrate.
Yeah.
Just saying. And I just think, right? I just think when I look back though, because we're still in it, there's like stuff that was lost in quarantine. So like ladies and to those in the audience, I know y'all can relate. Bras. Who is still wearing a bra in quarantine? For what? Like for what? Turn down for what? Wear a bra for what? Just saying. A couple of other things that got lost. Like I'm African American. We have a little expression. We say our good clothes. That's what my grandmother used to say. Your good clothes. Wear your good clothes. The rest of the world is just trying to match, but good clothes and matching both lost in quarantine. I'm just saying. Couple of other things. Um, Daily hygiene, right? Not hygiene, just hygiene every day. Like, right? Cause are we showering every day? Like brushing your teeth twice a day, every day? Like who's doing that? Like, okay. Last but not least, 3 square meals. Like who is still eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Like it's just snacks in my house, just snacks. Like in here, because I was, part of the protest last year. So there were protest snacks. Of course, there were quarantine snacks. I am the poster child for Zoom snacks. Like my computer, like you guys can't see, there's snacks everywhere, like work snacks. But I'm just saying, but with all the snacking, like quarantine 15, quarantine 17, anybody dealing with that quarantine 19? Like, I'm just saying. But right, I saw an article recently and it said coconut oil, chia seeds, and avocado. Foods that fight fat. But are y'all winning? Are y'all winning? Right? Are y'all winning the fight against fat? Like, are chia seeds like the warriors that like we thought they were in this battle against fat? I'm just saying. We were talking about the vax earlier, the vaccine, right? So the vax standby line became like the club, like being in line at the club. CNN reported that the number of Americans hesitant to take the vax like is down. And I get it because when I went out there, I stood in line for 3 hours. It was just like being at the club. I'm telling y'all, like there was security and they were like prowling the line, looking for the honeys over 65, and I, right. Just, I mean, cause the same as at the club, they're always looking for a certain type of girl. Another thing, like I was also hesitant, not necessarily Tuskegee experiment hesitant, but I was hesitant to take the vax. Now, where I went to take the vax, it was what is known as a traditionally underserved, like Black and brown neighborhood. So they were there to serve the neighborhood. Let me just say this: when I got there, there was everyone in line except Black and brown. The vax gentrified the neighborhood. Just saying, you guys. And so when I got there was this really nice Karen, and she walks up to me and she says, "You're black?" I was like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "You're gonna get in," because they did say that they would be pulling, African Americans and people of color out of the line, because of whatever. So she's like, "You're gonna get in." And then she said the thing that I never thought in all my life. I'm from Alabama. I never thought I'd hear these words. "I wish I were black." Well, we could trade. You can have this, and I'll take that mortgage approval. I'll take that mortgage approval that you get, and we can call it even. Just saying, you guys. And would you believe that in a traditionally underserved neighborhood, as a member of a traditionally underserved population, my friend Karen still got her vax before I got my vax?
Oh,
That's how it goes, you guys. Right? That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Um, when you get in there, if you've taken the vax, there's a form. And the form asks you questions. It's like going to a clinic. So the form says, "Are you pregnant or breastfeeding?" And of course, not anymore. My child is 19. So, these are things you don't want to mix with the vax. So of course not. But then they ask you, "Are you planning to become pregnant?" And I'm like, "Am I fucking? Like, is that what y'all want to know right now?" Well, no, I'm not. I'm not. And maybe I'm feeling some kind of way. Then, last but not least on that, the question they then ask is, "What is your mother's maiden name?" And I'm like, "We still doing the secret codes?" Like, okay, first of all, I'm the mama now. Like, why do we need her maiden name? I'm just saying. And low key, I'm jealous because she has a maiden name. I still have the same name from birth. Just saying, still same last name. And just speaking of, adult and being an adult and having the same last name and being a mama now, like adulting. People, let's talk about adulting for just a second. Like, I feel I feel strongly about this. Let me just say this. I feel strongly. There are things that they need to tell us that the ominous they don't tell us. Like, fellas, y'all are listening. Do you guys know that male pattern baldness can begin as early as like your late teens? Like, and people make such a big deal about the decades, like 20, 30. But I'm just saying to the fellas, they need to tell you around the age of 9 as you approach 10 that within this decade, you might have an issue with male pattern baldness. And what I'm saying is, we should just all sign on the dotted line that we were told this information. They should tell us, and then we have to just sign. Like the agree, disagree. Those forms you get online. You have to agree. What is it? The user agreement. So we sign on the dotted line. Ladies, let me ask y'all something. Did y'all know that we have a hoe phase in our 20s? Like, did y'all know that? Like, I didn't know that. Let me just say a couple things. First, I would have made better use of the time. I'd have made much better use of the decade had I known that. That's first. Second, gray hair is gangster. It grays up top and it grays south too. We'll just leave it right there. It grays everywhere else too. So I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna leave it right there. So here's the thing. At 19, we should sign on the dotted line that you don't have to be a hoe, but just know it's a good idea. You guys, at the age of 29, 800 credit scores. We should know this. We knew what to do with our SAT and our ACT scores, but not the credit score. So, just sign on the dotted line. You don't have to have an 800 credit score, but just know it's a good idea. Let me leave you with this. At the age of 39, even 49, we should sign on the dotted line that having a career is a good idea, because you cannot side hustle, keep getting fired, keep quitting, buy lottery tickets, or like me, and all of that was like me, but really like me, wait to get adopted by Jeff Bezos. Like, it doesn't work like that. We should sign on the we should sign on the dotted line that we will pick a career and a purpose. You guys, that is my time. I am Dana Keel, your Harriet Tubman of comedy. Thank you for being with me. Woo!
Woo! Yes! Keep it going for Dana.
Hey, Dana.
Dude, I just feel smarter. Yeah. But also, like, it might be too late already for me. I'll be 29 soon. I am 29 if you round up.
once again, without any further ado, Leokness.
I wanna be the cake and the cherry on top. When I walk in, make all the jaws drop. I'm getting carried away, I know, but I don't ever wanna stop. I wanna go to the club and have all the fun. Every single night, get lit up, oh, with no consequences. I wanna be a hot, hot girl forever. I wanna get away with whatever. I wanna get high and I wanna go slow. Wanna stay young and beautiful. I wanna be the one that you'll never let go. I don't care about tomorrow. I wanna be a hot, hot girl. I wanna be a hot, hot girl. I want to be the life of every party. I don't ever wanna have to pay for a thing. I'm too busy being pretty for responsibilities. I'm gonna sing kumbaya from dusk till dawn, and it's never my fault. So wanna hear me roar. I wanna be a hot, hot girl forever. I wanna get my way whenever. I wanna get high and I wanna go slow. Wanna stay young and beautiful. I wanna be the one that you'll never let go. I don't care about tomorrow. I wanna be a hot, hot girl. I wanna be a hot, hot girl. I know they say that I'm young and naive, but that don't mean that I don't know my power. I know they say that I'm an idiot, but I'm still winning it. I wanna be the way I am forever, 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 yeah. I wanna be a hot, hot girl forever. I wanna get away with whatever. I wanna be in love and I wanna break hearts when I walk in. That's when the party starts. I wanna be stupid, I don't wanna be smart in the name of art. I wanna be a hot, hot girl. I wanna be a hot, hot girl until I get my life together.
I'll just leave it at that. Wow, this has been super duper duper fun for me. What a lovely way to spend my evening. And I'm really very grateful for everyone who's been a part so far. Super duper funny. And keep it consistent. Very funny. Awesome, awesome lady. Blah, blah, blah. I got a little tongue tied.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm gonna blame the vaccine for that one. I just like started staring at my Windows
Yes.
computer like too.
If you need me to
intensely.
pronounce it, let me know.
Keisha? Oh.
Yes.
Let's welcome the very funny Keisha Norton.
Woo!
Thank you. So nice to see you, Becca. And give Becca a hand for hosting this and for asking us. And Dana, great to see you always. And Emily, nice to see you again. So man, that Karen just really pissed me off. I got to tell you, Dana. I wonder, did you see my message in the chat? That is so fucked up. But yeah. So anyway, two exciting things happened for me during COVID. And one was good and the other one was an absolute shock. And Dana touched on it. She touched on a lot of things, actually. So the first thing was my boobs sagged. And I'm like, wow, that is so exciting. My boobs grew enough to actually sag.
Yeah.
I wish I could tell that bully, Greg Warren, that, hey, Greg, guess what? Itty bitty titty, Keisha, her titties grew so much they actually sagged.
Yeah.
I've carried that around since high school, you guys, and I have two therapists. Like I have a mother therapist. I have a Freudian slip. I have a female therapist and a male therapist, and I pretend they're my parents.
Yes.
And then I'm enough, but I still held that, bullies really get into your head. It really is horrible. Man, I would just like to give them a big noogie. But then the other thing that happened was, okay, I have not dated anyone. I have been solo. In fact, after 3 months of being single, I've been by myself for like 7 years, and I have not been this happy since I was 5 fucking years old.
Yes.
And I'm totally serious. Like, I am just like, hey. And every time we would do a live show and I'd mention that, some guy would be like, oh, I can help you out with that, Keisha. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. But anyway, that's just a little aside. And so anyhow, I kind of look down there. I don't look down there very often unless I'm shaving. And I just went, whoa, the carpet does not match the drapes at all. Not that the drapes are dark, but they did go gray. And I was like, oh my God, when did this happen? Oh my God, I'm getting so old. And I was like, I have to do the wax, I've got to erase the evidence or something. I don't do that. I was born in I was born in the last century, like pretty back in the last century. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like, I have a really funny story, but I hope, can I tell it? It's actually, I'll make it quick. So when I was having problems in my marriage, I used to teach ice skating, right? I was an ice skating coach. And I was talking to my friend Erica, and I'm like, hey, Erica, and she was a very sexual person. Like her sex, it was 24 hours. Like even in her sleep, she'd be sexy. Like, so I go, Erica, what should I do? She's like, honey, get a red light. You always look hot in a red light. And then shave down there. And I'm like, what? Shave down there? Like I had no idea people were doing that. And this was like the cutting edge, literally and figuratively. It was it was people were starting to just shave it all off. And she goes, I tell you, he will really like that. Well, I was on the ice rink like 9 days later, and out of nowhere, I'm like, okay, we are not doing jumps right now, we're doing spins. So I did a crossover, and I'm like, because I itch so much. And I'm like, and Erica's watching me do this. And I'm like, do a really big crossover. And I'm like looking at Erica, and she's looking back at me like, what is your problem, Keisha? And I go, get over here. I go, you never told me it would itch like this. And she's like, oh my God, I forgot to tell you day 7. And I go, no, this is day 9. All at once at the same time. It was not itching to, oh my God, I have poison ivy down there. I know this is TMI. I don't care. Whatever. So anyway, it was just really funny because I was on the ice rink teaching a lesson when that happened. And I was like bright red. I was so embarrassed. I'm like, I'm never doing that again. And it didn't help my marriage. I was married for 10 years. Happy for one.
Oh.
And man, I gave it a Girl Scout try because I shaved that landing thing. And you know, I found out, I asked my husband later, I was like, honey, what, I mean, not later, during the marriage, I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, I don't understand. When I go to bars, other men want to pick me up. And he's like, oh, Keisha, you're just too available. I'm like, well, I kind of thought we were married. And we live in a studio. What do you want me to do? Hide under the bed? Like duck behind the toilet? Oh, I could dress like the Drapes. How's that? Yeah, so I became unavailable. I just divorced him.
Mhm.
Yep. Who got the last word on that? And so I really do like these Zoom shows because I can go from my chair to my bed and not have to carry mace, unless you live at Kate's house. But I'm afraid to do live shows now because my rear end is shaped like a chair. And I'm just like, I haven't been socialized in so long and I still wear a bra. Because if I have to go do the laundry, I don't know. It's the thing. It's like, I got to put mascara on and wear a bra. I have no idea why, because you need a microscope to see these things. So, yeah. And then, you know, I really wanted to work from home. I love working from home. I really do. And before COVID, I was having a meltdown at work because I went from a figure skating coach to a food service professional. That's not very ego enhancing at my age. And I was having a midlife crisis. I was walking around in this private area at work, meltdown, going, God, please get me out of catering. I can't take it. What happened to my life? And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, shut down. And I'm like, wow, I really had a direct line with God. God, I didn't mean shut the whole world down. And then when we started opening up, I was freaking out. I was like, oh God, please don't make me go back to catering. I can't take it. I can't take it. My ovaries are much happier staying here in the chair. Like, I'm really good. And then 2 weeks later, I literally broke my wrist. Yeah, it was Father's Day. And my father is the reason why I got into therapy in the first place. Little symbolicness happening there. And, you know, I've never had kids. In fact, when I see pregnant women, I'm like, oh, isn't that so cute? Better you than me. And I admire moms and dads. I'm like, I'm just cool with being anti-squeesia. So I was having some severe emotional issues a while ago. So I got a foster kitty and I failed. First time foster, and I failed because I adopted him. He's so cute. And then I started thinking about cat food. And I'm like, why is cat food, like in the natural food chain, cats don't jump on a cow and eat a cow for dinner. Why are we serving beef? Why are we serving like even turkey? Cats don't eat turkeys. And so I was thinking, I'm going to start a new company. I'm going to start a company. It's called Unnutrition. And we're going to serve minced mice mousse, pigeon pate, and then the kitty favorite, rat tattooing. So it feeds your cat and it ends the rodent population. And that's not blonde. That's being very practical and feeding your cat what a cat would actually eat if it was out there. But I'm opposed to feeding them lizards. That's just not allowed. Anyway, that's my time. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Give it going for Keisha. Oh man, I wish I would have gotten a quarantine kitten. Kind of sad about it. I want to make a joke about how I just adopted a pussy of a boyfriend, but he's great. He really is. He's great. It's just jokes. It's just jokes.
Ah, you guys, thanks so much for sticking around. We have our next act. I mean, I'm always a little biased. Like, I'm just gonna call it like it is. I think this band's pretty friggin' awesome, you know. Maybe they should stick around. Maybe you guys should check out their website, you know, scope some merch. But, you know, who am I to say that Damaged Toys is just so cool? But for reals, the next band we have up is my band, the amazing, the awesome Damaged Toys! Woo!
Yes.
Oh shit. Keep it on the inside.
I got a couple jokes for you guys. And it just along the same lines, I've been struggling big time. And mostly for me, it's with imposter syndrome.
Mm.
And so now when I work on my jokes, I do them in the shower because it reminds me kind of what it used to be like to be at an open mic, just like drenched in my own sweat, extremely vulnerable. And it's kind of lame that it's not socially acceptable, not as socially acceptable, like as like singing in the shower. And then I have to explain to my roommates, like, they're like, "Oh, you're weird. You have multiple personalities." Like, yes, and it's character work. What's that? I wasn't talking to you. Yeah, but now I do these Zoom mics so I can be introduced and reminded of like who I am, where I'm from. I've been given the opportunity at the very least to be funny. I think about that a lot though. Like, really though, like who told me that I was a comic? Like the most I can remember is my mom bought me a pair of socks in elementary school that said, "My mom thinks I'm special." And like apparently what I heard was, "Make no money working on your special." So, you know how that goes. Okay, so to help you remember my name a little bit, if I had a stutter when I spoke, my name would be Bebe Kaka. If my middle name was Isaac, I would be Becca is awkward. You guys, you've been so painfully funny. Classic misdirection. I actually was just thinking like high five is, or no, clapping is kind of like a personal high five. Like you can mask it on Zoom. Even if you don't like the comic, you be like, "I did great." Yeah. I congratulate myself. Oh man, I'm super glad I wore perfume for this. So I am from West Virginia. I live in LA now because of all of the work that used to be here. I heard from some therapists or dad down the line that like it's a little healthy to live in the past. I can appreciate the new normal. A little bit in our little COVID country because like the masks have been working for me. Allergies are better and I get hit on more. That people can only see half of my face. Stop paying for dental. Clearly. It's a fun fact. It's just fun facts about West Virginia. It's like the toothbrush was actually invented in West Virginia because anywhere else it would actually be called a teeth brush. I haven't shaved anything all quarantine. Don't care. Yeah, I'm not a trendsetter. I smell of hipster, but I do not embody it. But I also think that they're gonna make another Star Wars, and then I could like seriously be in the running to play Chewbacca. It's been really hard for me, especially not having a job, like convincing or just really explaining to my family why I have stayed in California. And I try to help kind of bridge the gap between California lifestyle and their part of the world, being from the South, and it started with my grandma. We call her Banana. I'm trying to be a little more clean, so I won't tell you how she got that name this time. But my banana is a born again Christian. So when I tried to explain like marijuana culture to her, I probably shouldn't have called it the devil's lettuce. She just stopped eating salad even. Like she was highly offended. My grandpa Ralph, on the other hand, he used to smoke a lot of pot. So last year, my grandma found my grandpa Ralph's stash and she stole it. She flushed it down the toilet, straight to hell where it belongs. So naturally, you know, in retaliation, Ralph stole her Bible, and she asked him like straight up, she's like, Ralph, have you seen my Bible? He said, I don't know, Grady. Lots of things been going missing around here. We still just let her believe that WAP stands for worship and praise. I was just telling one of my hometown friends that story, and she laughed a little more than you guys. So that's okay. I got a big imagination. Oh, my friend's name is Angel, and I feel like her parents really set her up for success with her name for when she dies. How much time do I got? I don't know. I don't like going home particularly because whenever I go home I stick out for a myriad of reasons. You know, mostly because I use multiple syllable words like myriad. But as soon as I start telling people out there in West Virginia that I'm a comic in LA, like they think everything weird I do is a choice. Bless my heart. And I always get these great backhanded compliments on my figure, like, oh, maybe she's just heroin chic. Maybe she's a model. Maybe a hand model. Well, I'm not skinny by choice. And I understand it's hard for people in LA to laugh at a skinny girl telling skinny jokes. That's okay. But you can laugh because in reality it's because I cannot afford to pay $15 for 3 ingredients, which is like avocado, egg white, and birdseed bread. No, that is the most backwards real life math. Like if you take out the gluten, the egg yolk, and like any flavor, somehow it costs $4 more. That's horse poop. Which is debatably non-vegan. I don't know. I after the vaccine, I was like, I really wasn't feeling hot, and you know, why not have McDonald's to make it worse? I was like, it'll soak it up. It'll soak up the vaccine. I don't know. She didn't put a Band-Aid on it, so it might have leaked out anywhere. But I ate a Happy Meal, and my roommate said, "Oh, did it work? Are you happy?" And I said to her Chipotle chicken bowl, "Did you get that chicken bowl to be easily frightened? Are you scared?" Macaw. Oh, there's a macaw joke somewhere in there eventually. Super into like a couple of my friends are into polyamory. I found a way to make it work for my life, and that is polyeatery. That just means that I'm okay with other people shoving my mouth hole full of snacks to let's see. I'll leave you guys with this. I love boys. I do. Oh, I love boys. I love boy butts. It's not even meant to be funny. Those are my feelings. I have 4 brothers. I'm just used to people laughing at my feelings. Well, I don't go for beefcakes because I'm paranoid that they're gonna think that I exercise. And I have runner's bod just due to them having the metabolism of a 12-year-old boy, which sounds awesome until you call it hyperthyroidism. I don't want to mislead anybody. Like I'm not active. I am just diseased. And you're only going to catch me running towards food or shiny things or like away from emotionally available men. I don't need techno either, like to help me go move faster, do more, you know, like I was on a bike, murder podcast. That'll frickin' make your booty move. Murder podcast. I found the potential common thread between the Killer Wives and the Killer Wives podcast I've been listening to, which is maybe their boyfriends also cough after eating ice cream after every bite. It's like, that's not a real cough. Murder you. 2 a.m. That's no longer allowed as a midnight snack in my house. But it's also like why I don't buy variety packs of oatmeal. It's because like I feel like having to make a decision before 8 a.m. Could also lead to manslaughter. I don't know. My name is Becca Ward.
You asked for it. You wanted it. We gave it to you. Once more, without any further ado, Damaged Toys. Woo!
As a kid, I was a punk. Set my lips pink, cough syrup got me drunk. But then I didn't have no weed. It didn't matter though, 'cause I'm a hot triple C. I know I was just another kid from the hills. Those nights were shit, and you were chasing our thrills. Well, I'd give anything to be there once again. To do it all over again, my friends. And I'd give anything to be there once again. Life was so much easier back then. As does time flies, next thing I know, it's the summer, it's getting hot. Found a joint for the crew. It's the way to live, it's all the Jersey just for you. I knew there was some good stuff somewhere in her. It's like a dream that I cherished now and forever. Well, I'd give anything to be there once again. Do it all over again, my friends. And I'd give anything to be there once again. Life was so much easier back then. Yeah, shit was fucking easier back then. Back then, I must admit, my life at home now, it was fucking shit. Every day's a gone disaster, still blowing so far faster. I don't know if you all knew, but you gave me something to hold on to. I sing jokes under the stars, and see now nights it was. If I could, I would take us all back to our hood. Sick fucking kids, all some buddies with a football, trying hard but nobody's happy. Some of us, we would look fine, but most of us, we would fall behind. And I watched the bridges burn until it was over. But I'd give anything to be there once again. Do it all over again, my friends. And I'd give anything to be there once again. Life was so much easier back then. That shit was fucking easier back then. I wish that we could do it all again.
comics, our amazing, wonderful, talented comics, and please tip us. And I won't do anything sexually for you. I won't. You can try. You can slide into my DMs as much as you want. My feet are disgusting. And awesome. Thank you guys very much for being here, for coming, and thank you to Elsie, our co-producer, and Kate, and who's next?
Emily.
Emily.
Thank you to Kate Hester, Emily Page, Dana Keel, Keisha Norton. I'm Becca Ward. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Becca.
Thank you,
Take
Becca.
care.
You guys, gals, everyone out there in the interwebs. What an awesome show we had tonight. Like, this was so much fun. I can't thank you enough from the bottom of my heart, the bottom of Becca's heart, which is like 3 times bigger than mine. So together, this is like one massive caring heart. Like, really, thank you so much for supporting this show, for supporting all the different comedians and performers that we had tonight. Thank you so much for your generosity with your donations to Sunspace and donations directly to the performers. Like, we can't do this without you guys. So really, thank you. Thanks for sticking around. And man, tonight was just awesome. We just had so much fun. Like, this was so cool. Cherry Bomb! Cherry Bomb! So really, thank you guys so much. You know, that's it. We've made it to the end of the show. But don't worry, there'll be more. There'll be more. You know, you can count on us at Cherry Bomb. We'll be back. And if any of you super talented, awesome ladies out there would like to be a part of a future Cherry Bomb show, please send us an email at sunlandsunspace@gmail.com and make sure you put Cherry Bomb in the subject. And let's see if we can get you onto a future Cherry Bomb show. Anyways, I'm Elsie Mae. Thank you so much for being a part of our show tonight, and we'll see you guys at the next Cherry Bomb.